right, so this evening we are outside and we are making our homemade refrigerator pickles. So the other day, which just would have been yesterday, I suppose, we picked our cucumbers. It was our first picking of cucumbers this year, and now we are making the homemade refrigerator pickles. So I'm going to show you how we make them and make the brine. So we do a homemade brine. So in the house, in a pot, we put water, sugar, vinegar, and kosher salt. Make sure it's kosher salt, okay? I will put the amounts of this for the recipe in the description of this video, okay? So you put that all together into a pot and you bring it to a boil. Then you need to turn it off. So that is what has happened now in the house. It has been turned off. It came to a boil, it was turned off because it needs to cool down. Because these are refrigerator pickles, you don't want them to be hot. So we want the brine to cool down. So then we came outside and the kids helped us cut up the cucumbers. Okay, so we came outside to pack the cucumbers and the other ingredients into the jars. So the first step, of course, would be to wash your cucumbers. Okay, so don't want dirty cucumbers in your pickles. So wash them. Also, though, we had prepared our other ingredients. So we had some fresh onions, garlic, grape leaves, and dill. Yes, that's everything. And so yesterday when we picked those things from the garden, we got them prepared. We peeled the onions, cut the tops and the bottoms off. Same with the garlics, right? Got it all prepared. So this is what it looks like, right? So here's our onions that were prepared and ready, our garlics, and our grape leaves. And then our dill is right here. Okay, there's our dill. Okay, and then also something that didn't come from our garden that you also need to add to your jars is peppercorn. So we just bought some peppercorns. Okay, and then also for the second, so I have 2 more jars to fill. These jars right here are filled and ready for the brine. These are my other 2 jars that I'm going to show you to fill right now. So one of them is going to be just regular pickles, and this other one, we're going to make 1 jar of hot pickles for my husband because he's the only one who likes spicy hot pickles, but we're going to make those for him because he does love them. So, but we just need to make 1 jar because me and the kids do not like them. So, okay, so I will do the regular jar first, the regular. So we already have some cucumbers in here, okay? Now, we're going to put so you put a few cucumbers in here, and we put a grape leaf next, and you want to make sure it's a good grape leaf. We just kind of picked a handful of them, so we're just kind of going to go through them a little bit here, which this looks like a better grape leaf. So see, nice grape leaf. And I believe you just put it down like this. Okay, so you can put it in there, or if you want it to look pretty, you can put it on the side, but like I always say, we're eating these anyways. The kids eat them almost as quick as we make them. So to me, it doesn't really matter about what it looks like. And like inside, and like the cucumbers, so the kids help us cut these, right? So there's no rhyme or reason to the cutting. It's all different sizes. So of course, like if you got store-bought pickles, they're pretty precise and they're pretty uniform, right? Our homemade pickles are not uniform, but guess what? They taste better. So it doesn't all about the looks. Okay, so we have the grape leaf in here now. Now it's going to be the dill. So now the dill that we're going to put in there, I suppose it could really be preferable. This is going to be what makes it pickly, but if you don't want too strong, don't use too much. I'm just going to use a small handful like this. Okay. And and fresh dill is different than, not fresh dill. So you're not going to really, this is going to be really, it smells really good. If you were here, you'd be able to smell it, and it smells really good. Okay, and then we're going to do the peppercorns. Like about 24, but we're not going to count them. So we're just going to shake. And of course, that too is preferable. This is not like rocket science, and it doesn't have to be exact. It's really what you like. Now, we're making dill pickles. Of course, well, I guess you could tell that because we use dill. But If you don't like dill pickles, some people don't. Some people like sweet pickles. We do not like sweet pickles, so I could not tell you how to make those. I can just tell you how to make dill pickles. So, but of course, there is a recipe for sweet pickles if you want. Now the garlic. Now our garlic is just like little baby garlics. So I'm going to use probably this many. If you had big garlic, you probably would just need one head, and you could, cut it into pieces. And I think I'll just use 2 more pieces because they're just little. Okay, now we're going to get an onion right here, and we're going to cut it into pieces. Nothing fancy, nothing uniform, just so it's in small pieces in your pickles. Whoops, but you wanted to make it go into the jar. Like so. And of course, too, if you don't like onions in your pickles, don't put onions in your pickles. This is another preferable thing. We like onions in our pickles, so. And actually, it really does. It comes out really nice. It's a really good taste and flavor. Okay, so probably don't need this one. Okay, now we're going to do more cucumbers. Because this is going to be the regular jar, so we don't need to add the spicy stuff. So now we're going to add, now when you add the cucumbers, you don't want to pack them so tight because you want space in between the cucumbers for the brine to really soak in. You want the cucumbers to soak in that taste because that's where your taste is going to be. So you don't want to pack it too tight, but you want to fill it up. So, and as you can tell, you can do pickles long ways. You can do them round. You can do them really skinny. Sometimes we had little baby cucumbers. I like them whole when they're this little, but we'll cut them in half this time. My husband says that if you cut them, then the brine soaks in quicker instead of a whole cucumber. So that would be obvious. That would be a smart thing to do, right? Okay, so I think that's probably a couple more along the side there. This one was cut just in 4 pieces. That was funny. Okay, so what do you think about that? That looks good to me. So see, I didn't shove them down, but it's filled. And also, you don't want to fill this up too much with cucumbers because your brine needs to cover all of them. Otherwise, they're not going to soak it in. So you need space up here because the brine's going to come up to right about here because, of course, here's going to be your head space from the jar of the lid. And so this much will be brine, which is perfect. So, okay, so there's that one. So this is going to be really, really tasty pretty soon. Now I'll show you how to do spicy pickles if you want to do spicy pickles. So we have an empty jar. Now also you can do this in quart. Normally we do it in quart jars. That's what we used to do. But now we do them in half-gallon jars because our kids love them. And a quart jar, and these are refrigerator pickles, so we have to save space in the refrigerator. If you had tons of quart jars, there would not be enough room. So we're using half-gallon jars. But this, like I said, refrigerator pickles, even though you don't can them, they last a long time. They will last up to a year in your refrigerator. So you don't have to worry about that. So we're going to put a few cucumbers at the bottom. Remember, first at the bottom of the jar. And you could also, even if you wanted to make these for somebody, you wanted to do a gift, you could do it even in pint jars. You could do pickles in pint jars and give people pickle presents. Haha, that's funny, pickle presents. I might do that actually. That's a really good idea. I think next time we might make a couple in pint jars. That's a good idea, Hannah? I think that is a good idea. Okay, so now we're going to put the other ingredients, which would be the grape leaf first. That's a good one. Like so. Then put the dill. Now we're still going to do dill even though they're going to be spicy pickles. There's the dill. And the garlic. Okay. and get our other onion here. Our other piece of the onion. Cut that part off. And now let's see if we have enough onion in there. Does that look like enough onion to you? I think so. Now, peppercorn. Probably good like that. Okay. Now, to make them spicy pickles, we have chosen cayenne pepper and crushed red peppers. Okay. So, my husband said make them very spicy. So I told him, don't blame me if they are extra spicy because I don't know how much of this to add. So I'm just going to just add it and make it hot. So he might not be able to eat these. They may become so hot. I don't know. Let's see what happens. I'm a little nervous. Okay, so that's the cayenne pepper. Hold on one second. Okay, all right, sorry about that. We just had a little thing with the kids. But okay, so now the crushed red pepper. Now this is, let me do the other one. Okay, so I think that's good, but you know what? I mean, when he eats these, we will video him because I bet it's going to be so hot. He may burn his tongue. Oh my goodness. Okay, so now the rest of the cucumbers. Whew, I can't believe he eats these. I don't know how he does. You guys should leave us comments to let us know what kind of pickles that you like. Do you like dill pickles? Do you like spicy pickles? Do you like sweet pickles? And do you make your own pickles? Alright, so actually we're going to have some leftover cucumbers. So I don't know, we may be able to make a small jar of regular pickles to give to somebody. Or to just keep in the fridge. Alright. Okay, so we have this. We put the, like I said, don't stuff them, but we got it filled up. So now all of these jars, I'll show you, are ready for the brine. Now, like I said, the brine on the inside is inside. The brine is inside, but it has to cool before we put it in here. So it should be cooled pretty soon. So if you saw us pick our cucumbers, we showed you the basket of how many we picked from our first picking that were ready. And so those cucumbers, we took 3 out to eat fresh, but otherwise we cut them all up. And so this is how many pickles that first picking gave us. So we're really thankful. We're really blessed. This is a great start to our pickle making this year. And so what happens then after you put the brine in it, because it's going to be cold, it's not hot, but that's okay. Just put the lids on your jars and put them right in the refrigerator. So no heat or anything like that, okay? So just put them in your refrigerator. I would let them set for probably about 2 weeks, I would say. The longer they set, the better they will be though. So if you don't have to eat them right away, don't eat them right away, because the longer they sit in the brine, the better they will be. So like the first jar that you're going to take out is going to be good, but within like a month or two, those pickles that you take out, you're going to really tell the difference, and they're going to be really a lot more flavorful because they have sat in that brine for even longer. So I personally would say probably even like push it to even maybe 3 weeks if you could, because especially this brine, it's not like your store-bought brine, so it definitely needs longer time to sit. The cucumbers need a longer time to sit, and all the ingredients to mix to make that really great flavor. So, all right. Well, like I said, just leave us comments and a thumbs up if you like our channel and our videos. We really appreciate it. Have a blessed night. Bye.